Welcome to the Daily Jerry Alderson Show, where the presenter is, as usual, telling stories about dead people which may or may not be true. The obvious attraction of telling questionable stories about dead people is that they are obviously in no position to refute the presenter's allegations, even though the presenter is well aware of the identity of the original alligators. We were doing a tour of Ireland, talking to interesting people for another station. And we went to Galway, and we went to Cork, and we went to Dublin. And whilst we were in Dublin, it was around about the time when, it was a long time ago, Josef Locke had become famous again. Remember that film? Hear my song, Rigoletto, hear my song, and I, hey, do you remember that time?
Yes.
Well, the guy said to me, he said, doesn't Josef Locke live in Dublin? I said, as a matter of fact, he lives in a little village in County Kildare called Clane. And he said, I wonder how we get in contact with him. I said, well, he's very difficult to talk to. But as a matter of fact, he knew my father well. You see? Mm-hmm. He says, really? I said, how come? I said, well, they were practically neighbours. He was born up in a street at the top of, around the corner from my father. They used to hang around when they were kids. And he said, would he know you? I said, of course he would know me. He said, well, see, I've got a number of his agent, that kind of thing. So why don't you go and tell him that and, try and make contact with him. So I did that, and eventually I got through to Joe Locke's partner at the time. I told her the story, and she said, oh, well, might be very difficult, because he's in hospital at the moment. And I said, is he? She told me what hospital he was in Dublin. She said, ring me back tomorrow. So I rang her back the next day, and she said, it's okay to go and see Joe. He'd like to see you. And I said, can we talk to him and interview him? She said, oh, yes. I said, what's wrong with him? Is it anything serious? And she said, no. He's got a boil on his bum.
Right.
I said, he's in hospital for that. She said, it went septic. Oh. You see? So I said, okay, he'll be in grand form. So he goes into the hospital, myself, and this guy from England, he's from the north of England, talk like that, Uh-huh. Hello, Mr. Locke. And his mother was a great fan of Joe Locke's, and he remembers his mother bringing him along. He was a man of a few years. Mm-hmm. She remembers bringing him along, and he saw Josef Locke in Blackpool when he was a young lad, and he regarded Joe Locke as a hero, and he couldn't believe we were going to actually see him. And I said, yes, it is true, we are going to meet Joe Locke. So he went in. He was quite nervous, far more nervous than I was. And we sat there, and Joe was lying on the bed, you see, and he said, look where they've left me. I says, what do you mean? He says, I'm in with other people. I said, yeah. I couldn't get a private room. I said, I'm sorry, Joe, it's a terrible, terrible thing these days. I said, I believe you've got a boil in your bum. He said, would you like to see it? I said, if you insist. So he whips back the clothes and shows us his bum. And he wasn't wearing pyjama bottoms. And he said, have you ever seen a boil like that? I said, I have to confess, Joe, I never have. And he put the thing up again. And then
How did he see it?
He knew it was there.
But he couldn't have. He didn't see it. He doesn't know what it looked like.
I might have held a mirror up to it. Maybe the nurse described it to him. Have you never held a mirror up to your bum?
No.
Yes, you have. I do it every weekend. Anyway, so we did the interview, and he's talking like that. You see the way he talks. God rest him. He's gone now. No dough, no Joe. You see? So I went outside, and the guy that was with me was very silent, and I thought he was upset in some way. And we're in the lift going down. I looked at him. He said, I said, you okay? He said, yeah. He said, I never thought I'd see Joe Locke's ass. The presenter has long harboured a strong dislike of Ryan Tubridy on The Late Late Show. He in the past has held similar grievances concerning Gaybo and Pat Kenny, but Tubridy really does seem to annoy him. The presenter thinks that lawyers shouldn't be on television. He gives you, as a prime example, Clive Anderson, no relation.
I went off Ryan Tubridy on Friday night.
Oh, he's gone. As far as I'm concerned, he's a non-person.
I went off him on
I'm
Friday
keeping
night.
my stories now for Graham Norton.
No, I didn't do it. Emma asked me what did I do. I watch 1 minute to 9 before the news, and Ryan Tubridy does his trail for the show. Mm-hmm. And it's just standing with hands in the pocket. Look at me, I'm not a bit nervous. Look at me, this is great. And the band's there and they play and it's everything. Look how relaxed I am. That's what he's trying to tell you.
You're so full of jealousy.
Yeah, you're probably right.
What would the people of Belfast do without using the word we in every other sentence? Now, we discussed this the other day. And a lady called Shona said, I go running in Beaver Forest Park. spelled Beaver.
All right.
But it's not her fault. No. But all the dog toilet bins have been removed. But you know what the pet owners do? Do you know what they do? Do you know when you have a dog, you...
See, I'm not familiar with this.
Well, I would never do this, to be honest with you.
Not being a dog
I've never done this. I feel as if I do this, I've crossed the line. You know, when you bring a little bag in your pocket.
Where do you get them? See, when you get a dog and you register, you
get them in the shite shop.
But do you have you don't, when you pay for your license. You know,
what license?
Do you not have a license for a dog?
I never had.
Yeah,
my dog just seems to function quite well without it.
But you need a license for a dog, don't you?
I never knew that.
Well, neither did I.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Ignorance is no defence. Anyway.
I don't know, but I thought that if you have a license, the man said, there's your license and there's your scoop. No?
They don't give you the scoop. No, this is the whole point. You have to decide and go and get your scoop yourself. And you have to go and buy little bags and get yourself organised. So in one pocket you have a scoop. At the other pocket, you have all the little bags for your dog poo. And I always say to myself, how long has man been on this earth? Man has been on this earth a number of millions of years in various forms, from the mud skipper on. But the forms that we recognise today, almost kind of anthropoid, this man has been living with dogs for millions of years. And only now has he felt the need to scoop up its poo. Yeah, so anyway, in Beaver Park, what other people...
There wasn't as many dogs then.
No, there were never any dogs.
No, but not as many. There wouldn't have been as many. And also, we know the dangers.
There is a danger. Anyway, don't start that.
I won't start that.
Do you know what the people do? They put their little bags in the piles where the bins used to be. The listeners seldom hear protracted discussions about free compost bins and various ways that one may manufacture valuable mulch or other decayed matter, which is disgusting. Let's put an end to this for the benefit of the listeners.
Can I tell you this?
What?
What I did?
I'm afraid to ask.
No, honestly. Do you know what the new black bin? You know the new one?
The one with no bottom in it?
Yes.
The one for your mulch?
Your compost.
I thought that was a thing that you use at Halloween if you're going to be a Dalek.
Right, okay.
That's what they'll be using this Halloween. You get a big pipe stick out and go...
Well, I don't want mine. We don't want it.
Oh, you don't want your bin?
No, we don't want
it. A gift from the council? You don't want it?
But what did I do?
Do you want to make your compost in it?
What did I do?
What did you do? Turn it upside down?
No.
What?
And I'm serious.
What?
I phoned the mayor.
Oh, is that the mayor you're going to walk across the Peace Bridge with the day it opens?
Yes, I phoned.
You're crawling there.
I phoned the mayor and
what did you say to him?
I said, "Mayor, I don't want this. But I don't want to chuck it, leave it out in the street."
You should have rang at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And being ungrateful.
What time did you ring him at? This is important.
I got him on. I got him on the program, on air. About I don't know.
On your reprogram?
Yes, I got him on.
You phoned the mayor to tell him about your compost bin?
Yes, and I said, look, I'm sure there's more people like me.
What flashing investigative journalism?
Yes.
So what did you say to him?
I told him, I said,
there are other people like you?
Mayor, I don't want to seem ungrateful. I'm serious. Why are you laughing? This is how I feel. I check our compost bin every night.
And there's nothing in it?
No, I don't.
It's because you have to put stuff in it.
I move it around the garden.
But
because it'll leave a
compost
ring.
just doesn't come, You have to put stuff in it.
But if
you have to put stuff in it and let it rot.
If you leave it sitting there, the grass inside it will rot and it'll leave a big round ring. So I move it. I keep moving it around the garden.
You move it every day?
I move it every day.
See, people don't see you doing that. They probably think it's moving itself. The talk turns to Pishmars, but swiftly returns to talk of compost. The two are connected in ways the nature of which we may merely speculate, the ant being one of the insect kingdom's most dedicated hoarders of stuff that nobody wants. Jerry, when I was younger, growing up around Antrim, Ballymoney, we would talk about an insect called a Pish Mole. I know it sounds rude, but it was a wee creepy crawly. Have you heard of that? Well, as a matter of fact, there's an Elizabethan Shakespearean word that appears in a number of Shakespeare plays called pishmear. It's a form of insult. You call a person a pishmear. And I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think if I looked it up, I'd probably find it. No, Pish Mole. That's probably connected to that.
There's a wee call.
I'm sorry I had to leave your conversation about the bin.
Yeah.
I just felt it had run its course.
No, but there may be other concerned citizens in the northwest area who don't know what to do with their compost bin. Well, I
suggest they all gather at the B&Q in the garden section next Saturday afternoon along with everybody else with a jumper.
No.
Jerry, I lost my phone on the bus on Tuesday night, and a guy called Stevie found it and made sure it got back to me. I would like to thank Stevie, who was in Morrison's, and made sure I got my phone back.
I called over the fence to my next-door neighbour on Saturday afternoon.
What did you say to him?
I said, John, are you using your compost bin? And I told him if he didn't want it, what to do.
I'm sure he was startled by that inquiry. How did he reply?
He says, I'm looking at it.
Where I live in North Belfast, a pee the bed was a 3-litre bottle of cider and 2 tins of special brewed Carlsberg.
Joanne's on one.
I know. Why you must pressure me all the time? It's just getting too much. A strange tale unfolds, a tale that appears about to aimlessly peter out like the rest, until suddenly an amazing fact rears its potentially valuable head. The presenter, previously inattentive and dozing, smells money.
Talking of guitars, which
Yes.
you will understand, you know a bit about guitars. I remember when we were running around, early teenage years. Well,
Yes.
And this friend of ours,
Uh-huh.
who was in the Merchant Navy, and in America, I bought a guitar. Brings the guitar back, an acoustic guitar, and was contacted by the shop that sold it to him.
Yes.
They wanted to buy it back.
The shop in America.
And he made inquiries about it. I could tell you the guy's name and all. And he lived just across the street here from Radio 4, as a matter of fact. And it turned out it was a Martin.
Yes.
Only 6 were ever made, and he had one of them.
Did they sell it to him by mistake?
I don't know. I don't know the full story, but he ended up with the guitar, and he played. We used to, you sit in the pubs and we were sitting singing then when you were singing Clancy Brothers songs and things like that. You know what I mean? And he would play the guitar, and then he was advised. He took it to a solicitor or whatever. He took it to whatever.
So knew this is a Clancy Brothers
No,
songs?
no, but to get it valued and the authenticity of it, and I ended up. It was told to keep it as safe as possible. It was so unique. Only 6 were ever made, and he had one of them. And it was, I don't know how much it was worth then, but it was advised then, someone advised me to put it into a bank and let a bank look after, keep it safe for him. And then someone else says, no, you're as well playing that guitar. Keep that guitar, keep it safe, but keep playing it. And I don't know whatever happened to the guitar. I don't know where it is today or where he is today. But
you just told me that story and there's no end to it.
No, what I'm saying to you is, did you ever hear of the Martin guitar? Do you know?
Absolutely, yes. It's one of the finest guitars ever made.
That's all. Yeah. That's why I brought it up. You see, you know about guitars.
But there was no point to that story. There was no end to it. You shouldn't tell me stories if there's no end to them, because they just fizzle out.
So one day he called up to our house and he said to me, you see this guitar that's worth an awful lot of money? He said, I want you to keep it for me. And I have it.
You have it?
Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Ah, that's an end, you see. That's an end of the story. What you must do is bring it in here.
But I don't know where he is. He has
Don't
disappeared.
mind him. Bring it in here and we'll sell it and split the profits.
Oh, well, suddenly you're in the act.
Suddenly I am. Suddenly I'm interested. After all, I'm your partner. Look, bring it in. Bring it in. We'll have a look at it. Will you? Have you still got it at home?
I haven't got it at home.
Or where did you bury it in the garden?
No, it's
Where is it?
It's safe.
Where is it?
It's somewhere. I'm not telling you where it is. I could be kidnapped.
You've hidden this somewhere.
No, it's yes.
In a home of a friend of yours or
Yes.
relative?
Yes.
Is it? And how long have you got it? How long have you had it?
I have it about nearly 30 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's worth a fortune.
I know, but it's.
Well, where's the person who gave it to you?
I don't know. I haven't.
When was the last time you saw him?
Maybe even longer.
But you didn't tell me how long.
No, well, it could be 35 years or so.
Well, maybe, God forbid, maybe he's dead.
Well, I don't know.
Which would be great. Which means that it's yours.
Yes, I can do nothing with it. He just told me to hold on to it, look after it.
If 30 years ago you were told, a man was told that the guitar he had was so valuable that he should insure it and hide it and look after it, what do you think it's worth now? I mean, I can't understand. I mean, you're so greedy and avaricious. How come you haven't valued this and sold it?
Because it's not mine. It doesn't belong to
When
me.
did that ever stop you?
I'm looking after it.
You've always been crooked. So when did that ever stop you? A mere matter of legality.
Your brother wanted my trombone.
I know it's only because he wanted to break it.
No, he said that's a lovely wee tidy wee instrument.
No, I heard you playing it. He just wanted to destroy
Hold on,
it.
hold on to that. He says that's a.
No, I wasn't talking about the trombone.
Oh, was it?
Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.